And we're live.
Oh,
Man, I want to harness your trolling abilities to troll a friend of ours.
Oh my God, I know where this is going.
Do you have a structure in your head already planned, Kyle?
Well, to say it kind of like, gets rid of this bullet, but he claims he has a property in Johnsonville, right? We could call as the IRS and say that, he has unpaid taxes on this property in Johnsonville and we're going to scoop it up. Or we could call and be like, we about it, same thing, but his trailer, right? Like he'd really start sweating bullets if we told him that he had unpaid taxes, because I don't know exactly how it's working out, but I think his mom's probably paying the taxes because she owns the place, right? He's like gives her the money and then she pays the taxes. So like you could really get him in a tizzy if you told him that, you were going to come take the property away from him or something.
Just don't get caught impersonating.
Oh, is that a crime?
I would assume.
Sounds a little crimey.
If he got actually like upset, he may be like, someone's pretending to be a police officer or IRS officer.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I think it's probably a crime to impersonate anyone on the phone, right? And try to get money out, like extortion, to extort.
Well, we're
money
not gonna try to extort him.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to make we're going for rage, right? We want him to like get mad and like freak the fuck out. Like I don't actually want Wings to send me his money. Like,
yeah,
no, I want him to yell, "Look here, look, listen" at me. That would be amazing.
Look here, look, listen. I paid my taxes every year, all $2,000 worth. Well, excuse me, sir, because that is just not adding up. He'd end up like filing a complaint against me, and then the actual IRS would look into it, and he would have actually not paid his taxes, and he'd lose the trailer. Like that's what ended up happening.
I opted into the flat fee.
I just pay Mama $3,000 a year, and all taken care of.
No, you don't understand. I'm not going to take Social Security, so
I'm all good.
Fine.
I used to listen to this guy growing up called Roy D. Mercer. That was his alias that he used to prank phone call people. It was really this guy named Phil and this guy named Brent in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They had a radio show. It was a big radio show. And they were sort of prank callers for hire, like assassins for hire. Like people would come to them and be like, "Oh, you got to get my Uncle Billy. He's got the worst temper ever. If you call him and like get him going, he's going to blow up on you." And sure enough, like their calls almost always end with like, "Well, we got to fight now." Because this guy, he's like, "This is Roy D. Mercer. We was driving past your trucking company the other day. One of them trucks pulled right out in front of my wife. And god dang, she had these two parrots in the car, and them cages flew, hit the dashboard, and both of them graveyard dead. Them parrots, $1,400 a piece. And oh wow, I'm sorry, so sorry. So, hey, well, by God, I'm gonna need $2,800 out of you, or well, you're not getting any money out of me. That's absolutely not happening. Well, somebody might have to get an ass whooping then. Just how big a boy are you?" And the guy would be like, "I'm about 6'2", 200 pounds. Well, that's just ripe ass whooping size."
Now, if someone's not familiar with bird law.
But Roy D. Mercer. Fuck, he's got. We would buy the CDs at the store, and like me and my dad, when we go hunting and stuff, we'd listen to those things nonstop. Like there's so many of them. It was just they'd all end with like a threat of whooping somebody's ass, and then after a while, after you listen to them, there was kind of what you've got going on. There's like a whole group of characters. Like his fictional son's name is Raymond, and his fictional daughter's name's Letitia. There was one where he calls a pharmacist, and his wife has broken off a thermometer in his son's ass. It's broken off, and he's like, "Well, it said it was for anal use and rectal use, and by God, it's broke off up in there, and we got these doctor bills, and I'm gonna come down there, and somebody might need an ass whooping." And the pharmacist starts getting scared. He's like, "Oh, sir, there is no need for that. You don't have to come down here. I'm sure we can work this out." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna need some doctor bills paid for." "Well, maybe we can do that."
Yeah. So did he end up like explaining it at the end? Or
yeah. At the end, he's like, "Well, you can make the check right out to my lawyer. His name is Jimmy Smith." And like Jimmy Smith will be like the person who's getting pranked's wife or like husband.
Oh,
or like,
they know something.
Like he'll like throw these clues in there repeatedly until they're like,
"Wait,
I know a Jimmy Smith. That's my husband. what the hell's going on here? And then they start like cracking up and laughing on the other end, and they get the joke and everything. That's usually that's usually the crescendo of the whole prank phone call. I've always loved prank phone calls. We used to do them as kids. Back as soon as we learned how to block our phone number, we were fucking with people.
Just going crazy.